Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
You know, you always want, at least I do, I want everything to be like clean cut, perfectly, organized, and everything works and whatever else. And life's just not that way. It's not like this was a 90-man roster countdown. And then you got the international player exemption, which turned to 91-player countdown, which is awesome. But then there's also transactions that take place after we finished ranking 1 through 91 and putting our whole list together. And let me see how many pages. 192-page Google Doc with all our information on it. There's still transactions that take place. And for those that have been, watching this entire breakdown series, you're going to notice there's going to be 92 shows because we did a show. A player got cut and replaced by Logan Thomas, a veteran tight end, comes in number 44. Now, I do have to, again, a little peek behind the curtain here. Logan Thomas wasn't on our ballot, and I perhaps ambiguously just placed him where I thought he deserved to fit, which was right behind number 43, Eric Saubert, the other tight end, the number 2 tight end in my opinion. And I got, 2 tight end twos, if that makes sense, because you got Eric Saubert, who's going to be special teams, run blocking tight end, that Charlie Warner role. And now you got Logan Thomas. I don't want to say the Ross Dwelly role. We really haven't had a guy like Logan Thomas. And the receiving threat, huge. Dude's gigantic. 6'6", 250. And yeah, he's old. He's 32 years old. But coming off his second best season as a pro at age 31, now he's going to be 32 this year. I think there's still some gas in the tank. And maybe even what's best for Logan Thomas is he doesn't have to do what he was doing for Washington. He gets to come in and not be the tight end 1 and log 700-plus snaps and whatever else like he has been the last few years. No. You come in and you are a slot wide receiver, basically, in 2 tight end sets that can provide a little bit extra blocking, but more importantly, you bring in the pass-catching advantage of a tight end 2 that we really haven't had since another Washington guy we took, Jordan Reed. Didn't really get to ever see him and Kittle on the field at the same time, really, so that stinks. But Logan Thomas, fun player, vet player. Shout out to Josh for helping expedite this episode and being the producer. And, let's just look at the metrics, okay? Again, you got to remember he's 32. This dude was drafted back in 2014. Long time ago. Yeah. Here's what's crazy. If you look at the guys that were drafted the same round and year as Logan Thomas, 4th round, he went 120 overall. In 2014, Arizona Cardinals drafted him. We drafted in that same round Bruce Ellington and Dante Johnson. He was drafted the same year as the Barnacle. And you want to stick with that, Cassius Marsh, NFC West, all NFC West. I think he played for every damn team. He was drafted that same round too. So you're talking the Barnacle, Bruce Ellington, Cassius Marsh. I mean, that's how long Logan Thomas has been around. And he's had a crazy career path. But you look at the athletic profile, which is still there. 6'6", 250, that don't change. 34-inch arms, that don't change. Now, perhaps the speed does. He ran a 4.61 in the combine over a decade ago. He's definitely not running that now. 7.053 cone, not doing that now. 9.10 broad jump, not doing that now. But he's got the savviness. You look at the comps whenever you put in his information. Austin Hooper, yeah, that's a shit-head guy. Josh Oliver very much fits the mold, and he's going into his 11th season. Now, let's go to Kyle Shanahan just real quick. He talked about why Logan Thomas and how he felt about the signing and the role that he can have with the 49ers this year.
I really wanted to just up the competition there with the group and get a guy in there who's had success in this league in the run and pass game, who's been on a few teams and done it before. We like our group and there's some competition there, but having the opportunity at this point in the season to be able to add a veteran like Logan with his skill set and be able to get him in here to come compete and him being ready for it was something we were kind of pumped to pull off at this time. And we're just going to have him watch this week because he just got here today, and we'll give him a chance to come in training camp and compete with those guys.
So you've got the vet, right? He's going into his 11th season. That's incredible. By far the most experienced player in that tight end room, which is saying a lot with George Kittle. George Kittle's the guy. That's never going to be in question as long as he's here. But let's look at the journey that Logan Thomas has been through. Lynchburg, Virginia, played at Virginia Tech, went to Brookville High School, was a 0-star recruit, which is crazy to me with somebody from that size. At high school, played quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, defensive back, played it all. Track and field was a stud, 14.9 in the 110 hurdles, 41 almost flat the 300 hurdles, high jump 6 foot, discus 48 meters, did a lot. One long jump at the 2009 Seminole District Outdoor Track and Field Championship. I mean, this dude's a freak. He leads Virginia Tech all time whenever he was finished, all time passing yards and touchdowns. All time. Dude was just a gigantic quarterback freak, all ACC, dual threat, whatever else. And whenever he got drafted, it was as a quarterback. Now, you look at the quarterbacks that were taken. He was the 6th quarterback taken in 2014. Listen to these names. I love this. Blake Bortles, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. He was drafted the same year as Jimmy G as a quarterback. Now, transitioned out of the quarterback phase into tight end and really worked out well. I really thought, but that transition didn't take place until 2016 with the Lions. He's got 5 kids, so respect there. And he's got more receptions in the last 8 games. He had 21 catches just in the last 8 games last season than all 49ers tight end twos all the way back since 2021. All of them. Okay, cool. Somebody wants to say how old he is. Well, guess what? Just last season, he had 55 catches in the 2023 season. That's more than Ross Dwelley and Charlie Warner combined for their entire careers. Shout out to Tony Farmer for that one. That was last year. So now, is he going to have 55 catches with the Niners? No, he's not. No, God, no. But he doesn't have to. If he has 20 catches with the Niners, that is a win. It's just an added element that is out there, a depth piece that can help Brock Purdy just having quick outlet passes. And a lot of what Logan Thomas did, we did a full breakdown, film breakdown last year of him. It's up on the 49ersrush.com and our Patreon channel. You want to go check it out. Go down to player breakdowns. You'll see Logan Thomas there. I mean, he's a basketball outlet, power forward type guy. He's not out there running amazing routes or whatever. But when you're 6'6", 250, you don't have to be. Look at Travis Kelce. He's at that stage in his career where he just finds a soft spot in the zone, posts up, and is a big target for the quarterback. It's literally run 6 yards, turn around, point your numbers at the quarterback, and let him hit you. Now, he can move better than what I was expecting, but he's going to be that tight end 2B, the receiving option to Eric Sauber, who's going to be the tight end 2A for the run blocking stuff. Now, just look at where he lined up. 80% of Logan Thomas's snaps last year were out wide, split out, big slot. Now, teams, once he comes in, they have to respect that as a tight end because he can block. It's not like he's a bad blocker. Last year, he had a 60.2 PFF run blocking grade. He had a 73.9 pass blocking grade. So, yeah, he's that receiving option, but 6'6", 250, he chips a lot. Which I really, really like, and I hope we do that a little bit more this year to help our tackles out, help Colton McKivitz out. Just chip, let Colton McKivitz get into position, then release on a route. If he just did that, I would like this signing. I really, really would. Again, we talked about the veteran options, all that stuff. 3,508 career offensive snaps, 525 special teams. He only had 1 special team snap last year. I doubt he'll be out there in a lot of that. I just don't see it. But again, look at where he lines up just last year, okay? 241 snaps in line. That's with his hand on the, dirt and all that stuff, traditional tight end. 331 as a slot wide receiver and 135 out wide. The versatility, that's huge. 80% of his routes were from the slot. That's from Jeff Denny from PFF. Now, let's just look at where his best grades receiving were, okay? Behind the line of scrimmage, last year, he received a 51.2 grade, not great. Short yardage, that's 0 to 9 yards, 85.5 grade. That's all I want him to do. That's it. Go out, post up, 7 yards, turn around, look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy doesn't have an outlet, check it down. He's a first down machine. Now, medium was his best grade. That's awesome. I think that's extra gravy. That 10 to 19 yards, air yards, 94.6. That's crazy to me. Drags, deep routes, digs, in cutters, out routes, all those different things. Flood routes, Y leaks. He could do those. That's not why I want him. That's just extra. But had a 94.6 grade in those medium. 20 plus, he had an 86.5. I want those short outlet passes. I want him to chip block. Boom. Just give a little nudge to the defensive end. Turn around, post up. That's it. That's all I want him to do. You're Karl Malone for us, buddy. That's all you're doing. Anyway, now we talked about him being drafted in the 4th round, 2014. Let's go through his college or NFL career. He was with the Cardinals for 2014. They moved on. They only saw him as a quarterback. Goes to Miami 2015. They only saw him as a quarterback. Goes to the Giants 2016. They only saw him as a quarterback. Then gets picked up again, same year, by the Lions in 2016. That's where the conversion to tight end happens. Okay? Didn't really catch much with the Lions, but that's where the transition happened. Goes to Buffalo 2016, 2017, 2018. Then back to Detroit 2019, and then 4 years with Washington. And that's where the majority of his production came from. And was even a team captain for the Commanders. The veteran presence, and he had 2 great years with Washington. He was there for 4 years, 2 great years, 2 kind of injury-riddled years. You look at his NFL career, 219 receptions. That doesn't translate to an 11-year career, but remember, the transition from quarterback to tight end took 4 years. 2,000-plus receiving yards, 9.1 yards per catch, good, 16 career touchdowns. That's huge, but now you divide that out by 10 years, and you're like, ooh, that's not good. But look at last year, 55 catches on 78 targets, awesome. 496 yards, good. That's 9 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns, 3 drops. More touchdown than drops. The drop number is a little concerning, but he was on a terrible team. Terrible team. Sam Howell was awful. Injuries, yep, they're there. 2021 tore his ACL. 2022 missed 2 games because of a calf strain. 2023 missed 2 games because of a concussion. Again, you're not reliant upon him. He's a depth piece that can get you in some fun situations because, again, whenever him and George Kittle are out there, that's 12 personnel. You got CMC, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, Kittle and Logan Thomas. They're going to keep a linebacker out there. They're going to be in a traditional 4-3 set. That means a linebacker has to cover him or a linebacker has to cover Kittle. Maybe even both. Because you're going to put a safety probably on CMC. What are you going to do? That's the thing that's huge. Now, look at his snap counts. 2022, he had 680 snaps. Charlie Warner for us that same year, 215, 3 times. All right, 2023. Logan Thomas, 732 snaps. That's a lot. Charlie Warner last year for us, 349. Twice as many snaps. He doesn't have to do that here. If he takes 300 snaps, I would be happy. I would be very happy. Now, I have a whole page of transactions. I'm not going to go through. I think this dude he's probably got about 80-plus transactions in his life. Now, he signed with the 49ers. Last person to sign with us. 1-year deal, $1.2 million. Not much. $300,000 guaranteed. He's at $27.4 million career earnings. Love that, man. Get that money. I love to see people make money. So not a huge deal, not a huge guarantee, but he's making this roster. He understands he gets to come in, chill, and let's be honest, the dude was on the bench for 3-4 years of his career. He's going into year 11, but really he's only played 5 or 6. Started 57 games in his career, including 15 last year. Played in 94 career games. Now, best case, he becomes the clear number 2 tight end. It is out there 400, 500 snaps. That's best case for him. I don't think that's likely. I think 200 to 300 snaps, much more sense. Now, the 49ers keep 2 to 4 tight ends. George Kittle's a lock. I think Eric Sauber is a lock. Logan Thomas a little bit behind him. I got him as my tight end 3. But like I said, I got Logan Thomas 44. I got Eric Sauber 43 back-to-back. They kind of combine to be the perfect tight end 2. Then after that, you got Braden Willis. That dude was getting snaps in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to keep him, especially because of what he does on special teams. Now we got Cameron Latu behind that. Good Lord. What happens there? You move on from that dude? Does he rebound? He's not even practicing yet. Training camp's right around the corner. Is he going to be healthy enough to even be out there at that time? Jake Tonjes, fun player, can kind of do it all. I think he's more of a practice squad guy. And Mason Pline, undrafted free agent. That dude, I love Mason Pline. But he is a converted basketball player that is still a couple years out. If you want to keep up with Mason Pline, that's awesome. But he's got to be on the practice squad for a year or two before he gets that chance. So the real competition is kind of this Logan Thomas, Braden Willis, Cameron Latu. Those 3 guys. Might be able to keep 2. One of them's going to be the odd man out. We'll see. Maybe they hide Cameron Latu on the injury thing again. I don't know. Now, again, I'm not saying he went injured because he's still not practicing. He's still injured. But that dude was not making this roster last year. And I doubt he's going to make it over Logan Thomas because you're hoping Cameron Latu would be what Logan Thomas is. Logan Thomas already is that. If Cameron Latu has showed you anything, you don't bring in Logan Thomas. But Cameron Latu has showed you absolutely nothing. Therefore, Logan Thomas is now here, the veteran option. Not what you planned for, not what you hoped for, but it's what you got. And you heard Shanahan earlier. He's going to contribute. And I think that he provides an element we have not seen from the tight end 2 in a long time. So it's going to be fun. Excited to have him. And, you know, he's making this team. And he's going to provide some nice veteran leadership. The Niners have shifted dramatically in this, look, we're going with these young pups with high upside as our backups to, man, we want veterans all the way through this roster. It's championship time now. Now. Yeah, Braden Willis might eke in as a tight end 4 or Cameron Latu. Tight end 2 and 3, Eric Saubert, Logan Thomas, vet. Both of them. Young pups, your time's coming. It ain't this season. It ain't 2024. So, Logan Thomas, go out there, make us proud, excited to have him. And for us, you know it. Let's keep counting them down.